All right, so you've decided to embark on the incredible journey of creating your very own language. This can be a challenging task that might take a lot of time and can be very frustrating at times. To keep motivation in those hard, frustrating times, we need a purpose for our language. So before we start diving into the details of linguistics, let's take a moment to establish our purpose. Ask yourself why you are creating this language. What do you hope to achieve with it? Are you crafting a language for your very own fictional world, or do you want to create a secret language to use with your friends? Maybe your goal is purely artistic to express your creativity and explore the possibilities of linguistic design. By defining your goals, you're setting the destination for your language. It's like plotting a course on a map. You need to know where you're going before you can start planning your route. So grab a pen or open your note-taking app of choice and take a moment to jot down your goals for your language. Trust me, having a clear sense of purpose will not only guide your decisions throughout the creation process, but also fuel your motivation when things get challenging. And remember, there's no right or wrong answer here. Your language's purpose will be as unique as the language itself. The next and first linguistic step will be to decide what your language sounds like. First, decide on the phones or sounds you want to use. Do you want to make a simple variation of English so it's easy to learn? Then take the sounds the English language already uses. Or do you want your language to sound harsh? Then look at the sounds of languages you consider sounding harsh and use them. Your goal might also be to see how far you can get a language with only 5 different sounds. It all depends on the purpose of your language. For this step, it's helpful to look at the IPA. If you don't know what the IPA is, it is the International Phonetic Alphabet, which is used to have a standardized representation of speech sounds. For an example of why you need the IPA, take the name of the car brand Mercedes. In English, all 3 E's in the word represent a different sound. Your own constructed language might use the same letter to represent multiple sounds as well, but using the IPA, you can show when to use what sound. This will help people unfamiliar with your language to pronounce your words correctly. But for your own language, you will also want to establish rules of when what sound might appear. In English, for example, you can start a word with the consonant cluster TR, like in train or tree, but it is impossible in English to start a word with the cluster TL. This rule in English is part of what is called phonotactics. Your language will want to have such rules as well to help it get a unique sound and aid in word creation. Now that you have established what sounds your language will use, it's time to choose a writing system to represent these sounds. You can choose whatever writing system you like. Do you want to use the same as English? Then use the Latin alphabet. You might also use it, but only take a reduced set of letters from the alphabet, according to your needs. You may as well do something crazy and mix 2 or more writing systems together. Do you want to use the Latin alphabet but feel like a few Cyrillic letters will add a nice touch to it? Go ahead and mix in Cyrillic letters. Or use numbers, or what we consider special characters. This might sound absurd, but just take whatever symbols, letters, or shapes you like and document what they sound like in your language. There are absolutely no restrictions. And if you don't like what the existing systems have to offer, create your own writing system and make it suit your needs. Keep in mind that you might want to think about romanization if you use a non-Latin writing system. That means, how will your writing system be represented in the Latin alphabet to make sure people who don't know your language will be able to read it? Think about it. Now that you have set up your sound system and your writing system, it's time for the most important step. Create words. Without words, a language is essentially nothing, and they will help your language become alive. I recommend starting with simple words and concepts like moon, light, human, and so on. Try to break language down into the most basic concepts, and then go on from there. Also think about the etymology of your words and how to derive words from other words. As an example, you might have the word light and the word sun, which is derived from the word light in your language. So now you might want to have words connected to brightness, warmth, and energy, also derived from your word for light. This will help your language maintain some kind of consistency, but again, you can do whatever you want with your language. This is just a recommendation. To make your language work, you don't only need words but also grammar. So now it's time to establish some grammar rules for your language. Most importantly, you want to know what parts of speech exist in your language and how they are used. Parts of speech are, for example, nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, pronouns, and so on. As an example, You may not want to have adverbs in your language and just use adjectives next to verbs as a substitute instead. Also, you want to establish the syntax of your language, which means in what order your sentences will be built. Do you want to have a subject-verb-object order like in English? Or do you want to put the object first, and then the verb and the subject? Lastly, you will want to know if and how your language will be inflected. Do your verbs conjugate? How do you tell if something happened in the past or will happen in the future? Will your language have a case system like Slavic languages? These are the questions you will want to answer, and I am sure that more questions will arise during the creation of your language. Make sure to answer all of them and document all your decisions. Now that you have done all that work, you can have some fun. Use your language. Start with simple sentences that are relevant to your language and translate them using your vocabulary and grammar. The emphasis here lies on relevant sentences. If you create your language for a fictional medieval world, a sentence with the word knight in it might be more relevant than one with the word dishwasher, but relevancy is decided by you. Do whatever it takes to fulfill the purpose of your language. After you translate sentences, or even a short text, read it and listen to yourself speaking your language. You don't like the sound of your language? Change it. Do you think the grammar is too complicated? Change it. Optimize the language to your needs. After you have made some improvements to your language, repeat this step. Repeat it as long as you want to and rework your language as much as you want. Just remember one thing. A language is never done. I hope this short guide will help you in creating your language. Soon, I will release some more advanced recommendations and tips, as well as a video where you can watch me create a language to see how I apply these steps myself. Make sure to subscribe to not miss those. If you have questions or recommendations left that weren't talked about in the video, feel free to share them in the comments so we can all learn more together. See you next time.